Hello and welcome to the Sports Dine with me, Kushagr, and today I have Prathamesh and Vaibhav for company. The team we are looking at for the ISL previews today is Mumbai City FC, the Wreckers in Chief, the Chief Raiders, the Tomb Raiders. You can give them many names. The thieves, the robbers, especially FC Goa, will have a lot of complaints against them. But this they also seem like a team which is probably the best prepared for the coming season. Who better to talk to than Prathamesh, the Mumbai FC fanatic? He is probably one of the main guys on our TSD groups. Whatever Mumbai was doing, this guy was losing his mind. Prathamesh, please talk to me about Mumbai City FC. Please tell the fans about your expectations and your excitement for the team.
Oh, I genuinely couldn't believe when it was like 6 7 days in a row that Mumbai were announcing signings, and that too they were giving proper previews to the signings on Instagram. So every day you'll be like, although you knew those players were coming, but still it was still that official excitement that you get.
Right? It's fun. It's
And
always fun.
yeah, it's always fun, and a huge thank you to the City Football Group for actually investing here, because as much as I might hate them with my other affiliations, this is the biggest thing that could happen in Indian football in a way. That experienced investment into Indian football, where they just do not deal with Mumbai City FC as a club. I think they'll be a huge advisor in how to develop the club's academy. I think Puma are also a very strategic alliance which they've made, globally with their clubs. So I think that's
Yeah.
another one that will benefit Mumbai. And just looking forward to Puma actually opening the store for the Mumbai jersey, because that's the only thing missing in my football locker right now. Talking about Mumbai, I don't know where to start because there's so many good players in the squad now. Like genuinely, last season I could just pick out like 3 4 players, and I would feel a little dizzy about the other players. But there's so many good players. Signed Hugo Bumu for a ISL record fee. Adam Lefondre was, played in the Premier League. People remember Adam
Reading.
Lefondre, yeah, for playing for Reading. Also, Bartholomew Peche, who was the top scorer for Kerala Blasters. Obviously, we
Lefondre
already have
scored
Amrinder
18
Rozo.
goals in the A League last season, man. That's really
Yeah, so
good.
that's a huge
He's on top of his
plus for
game.
Mumbai. Exactly, and another big thing for us is that actually we have kept Motada Fall, also another big signing at centre back, because I remember watching him in stadium last season against Mumbai playing for Goa, and I just felt, how does a player in the ISL actually get past this guy?
Yeah.
He's good on the ball. He's good, tracking. He's good actually running without the ball. He's good in the air. So it's a strong squad, and with good Indian players like Amrinder, who's obviously going to be the captain of the team this season. They got Farooq Chaudhary, who they've signed from Jamshedpur, another very good talent. Mumbai guy, so I think he was itching to get here, especially after CFG coming in. Rainier Fernandez, who was, I think, underused last season. I felt, somewhere down the line, just didn't match the ideas of the coach. And also, Rowland Borges, who was an absolute top-notch defensive midfielder last season for Mumbai, made the third most passes in the league last season. So I think that's going to be a huge, good structure for Mumbai to build. And obviously, forward players, midfielders, they've got a lot. They've got Hugo Bubu, who made double-digit goals and assists last season. So I think I think this is pretty much like the kind of investment that Mumbai have done getting Sergio Lobera. I think that's the biggest positive for Mumbai. Getting a coach who understands what it is to develop teams, develop teams and lead them to legacy in the Indian context. I think that's going to be a big positive. Considering the investment that's gone into the club, why CFG, the strategic investment that's gone into by the different minds of football. Anything less than an ISL title just looks like an underachievement. But it's a new squad. It's a new squad. It's come together this season. They've done well in the friendlies. They won all their friendlies before the ISL. So, and those have been close games, by the way. So it's not like Mumbai have run ragged. So that's going to be tough for Mumbai. But anything other than the first or the second position would be a huge underachievement with the investment.
All right. Weber, coming to you. I'll just read out the names of the players. You've got, as Prathamesh mentioned, you've got Bumu, you've got Lefondra, you've got Ogbichi, Amrinder Singh, Farooq Chaudhary, Rainier Fernandez, Rowland Borges. Uh, all of these fantastic players, and then आप उनका coach देखिए, Sergio Lobera, one of the most influential coaches in ISL history. I would count him as. Uh, कैसे देख रहे हो आप मुंबई, क्योंकि दिस टीम फिनिश फिफ्थ लास्ट ईयर, बट जो टीम फिफ्थ फिनिश की थी वो तो ये है ही नहीं.
Mumbai City FC is like that rich kid in your class. मतलब फैंस ने जो मांगा वो मिला, फैंस ने कोरो मांगा, कोरो नहीं मिला, कोरो ने ना कह दिया तो ओगे से लेके आए. आई मीन कोर तो फॉरेन गोवा से लेके आए हैं, और बट जो कम बात हो रही है वो इंडियन प्लेयर्स की, क्वालिटी ऑफ इंडियन प्लेयर्स. दे हैड सार्थक गुलोई, मोहम्मद राकिब, मंदार राव देसाई, राहुलिन बोजेस, and also Vikram Pratap Singh, who is a teenager, and he's very good. And also they got so many local boys like Amir Ranawde. I'm sorry, Amir Ranawde is there. Amir Ranawde.
And they've signed Mandar Desai as well, who's from Goa. And that's a big positive
Goa.
again.
And the goalkeepers also, they have Captain Amrinder Singh. I don't think he will captain again, or maybe, but he's there, the second best goalkeeper in India. स्क्वाड बहुत अच्छा है. और इस स्क्वाड लेनी रोड्रिगेज ने कमेंट किया था कि मुंबई सिटी और एटीके एमडी ने जितना पैसा खर्च किया है उनको हरा देना ही बाकी क्लब्स के लिए बड़ी बात होगी. लीग स्टेजेस में एक मैच हरा दिया तो भी बड़ी बात होगी. द अमाउंट ऑफ मनी दे प्लेऑफ्स में मे बी जीत भी जाए, हार भी जाए, बट टॉप टू फिनिश इज ऑब्वियस फॉर मुंबई सिटी एफसी.
All right, Prathamesh, just to round up with you, don't you think ये pressure counter productive भी हो सकता है, क्योंकि वैभव ने भी बात की कि एटीके और मोहन बगान और मुंबई ने जितना खर्चा किया है ऑन द स्क्वाड, जितना इन्वेस्टमेंट दिखाया है, जितना फेथ दिखाया है इन देयर मैनेजर्स एंड इन देयर how do I say, football technical stuff. Don't you think it will create additional pressure, and with the fact that Mumbai is a new team, so maybe we might not see them gel in right from the start of the season. Maybe first 5 fixtures could be the ones jahan pe teams sense point le sakte hain.
Yeah, obviously, and I feel in spite of the investment, it's always important to see how the manager actually fits all these players in his team. I think जैसे उन्होंने सार्थक, विक्रम, इन लोगों के नाम लिए, who's are very young, very good players. Obviously, Rainier has been there for quite a while. There is Valpuya who did, I think, good in defense last season whenever he was asked off. I think Amrinder is an influential voice in the dressing room. वो कैसे उसको integrate कर पाते हैं? They've signed some really good foreign players. They signed Mandar Rao Desai, the Goa lad, at left back, which was one of the most. I think replacing Subashi is going to be a big decision. They've done that. So they have done all those things that they needed to do before the start of the season. Now, when the season starts, looking at the investment, they obviously should finish top two. There is no doubt that on paper they're the best team in the ISL. But again, football is not as simple as it is on paper. Teams have done, there's a lot of history with teams not actually doing well with investment as well. So fingers crossed. I think Lobera has done. I think he's managed expectations quite well at Goa before. In Goa were favorites to win ISL last season. Once they qualified as the league winners, Lobera wasn't the coach when they lost in the semi-final. That was a massive loss for them. So I think that is where I think Lobera has done that season in, season out. But again, when these ISL league stages finally come to an end, whether they're playoffs, I think that's where again, a question arises whether this team has the mettle to actually go ahead and do it and win it totally. So I think that is the mental game which is going to affect them a lot. I think skill quality in the ISL, not by a country mile, but definitely by a huge margin.
All right. Any last words, Vaibhav, on Mumbai before हम लोग wrap up करें?
Mumbai City FC. I want to talk about Sai Godard. He's Japanese and 22-year-old, I think, and plays for Benevento Calcio, a Serie A club.
Yeah.
So he will be. I mean, वो खेलेगा या नहीं पता नहीं, लेकिन अगर खेलेगा तो अच्छी बात है, क्योंकि we don't see 22-year-old guy playing in India.
Yeah, especially a top foreign player.
हाँ, हमारे यहाँ मोस्टली 35-37 एज के प्लेयर्स आते हैं। तो
हाँ,
बहुत अच्छी बात है कि सिटी फुटबॉल ग्रुप ला रहे हैं, यंग प्लेयर्स ला रहे हैं।
I think they're trying to get him on loan, right?
Yeah,
For
he's on a season loan. Yeah, he's on a season loan.
हाँ.
सीजन
Okay, yeah, I think
and
Vaibhav.
he is Spurs Academy graduate.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. That's a very interesting thing for us to look out for, Vaibhav. कि I think जैसा आपने बोला कि City Football Group, I think these are the positive effects on the ISL and Indian football we might see from the City Football Group. One can only hope there are more such football groups जो कि you can take
Yeah,
over.
I'm loving oil money right now.
There are more such football groups which can take up and maybe promote football in different corners of the country. Once again, thank you so much, boys, for joining me for this preview. And once again to the viewers, thank you so much for watching. Do keep it tuned to the TSD for more ISL previews.